Okay, good evening everyone, and thank you for coming down on this Friday evening. It's quite a pleasure to see lots of smiling faces here. What kept coming up was the fact that India and China were very two similar countries. Everyone said that, these two are the biggest countries in the world in terms of the growth and also in terms of population. But I thought the real similarity lie behind the numbers and behind the statistics. Why are they so similar? And that comes down to the people, the place, the lifestyle, and the culture. And that's kind of what I've tried to showcase through my project, and I hope you guys see the same. Quick thing before we go to the photos. When I took these photos, I took them with the mindset that if you were to replace the Chinese person and the Mandarin text in each photo with an Indian person and Hindi text, it should look like it's been taken in India. And that's kind of the same mindset I had. So if you have that kind of vision, you'll be able to see the photos the way I see them. So Adi, you can go with the slideshow. So that's pretty much all the photographs. I'd like to speak a little bit about some of the photographs, but I think most of them do speak for themselves, if that makes sense. I think they kind of look like they're taken in India somewhere. That's what I thought at least. So this is pretty self-explanatory. I think cable men love wires all over the world. And the next few ones are kind of people working really. You kind of see the sheer lack of health and safety and people just working in haphazard environments. And that's something I felt very similar to here as well. I love this thing, the detail I love is that it's propped up on 3 bricks, that entire thing. And that's something I guess you'd never see anywhere else. And this again, people just love digging up pavements for no reasons. No signboards, nothing. Truck in the middle of the road blocking traffic, but that's the way it is, I guess. That's I really like this photo because I actually gone for a sunrise walk and I was coming back. And I spotted this lady. She's a sweeper and she sweeps this roads clean. And she was taking a break after sweeping and she was probably checking messages or playing a game on a cell phone. But she's contrasted very well with the ad for a luxury Swiss watch, which probably costs as much as a year of a salary. And that, that extreme disparity and level of inequality is something we see here as well. And this is a way I thought I could visually depict that inequality in an image. Black sugarcane, I've never seen it anywhere else really. This reminds me very much of mirchi bhajis on a rainy day, very makeshift barrels to cook the whole thing, and boiled eggs. Typical magazine store. Every magazine you can see, you can buy. Again, this one is like a convenience store or a kirana store. The only part I love about that is you can actually buy beer in these convenience stores. The bottles you see in the back are beer for sale. And I can't wait for the day it happens here, but probably a long time away. They were using photos of Aishwarya Rai to advertise incense sticks. And the bottom one, it says from India and Pakistan. It's not quite clear, but that's what it says. So she's become basically the poster child for this side of the world. And it was really amazing to see that she was advertising incense sticks. I wonder if she knows this happening. This was like a very staple breakfast. It reminded me very much of Frankie's. Just a quick wrap with a bit of meat inside it. Quite filling. It's in a tiny alleyway as well. And it's just run that one man and his wife, and people crowd around it to buy food. So this one, again, I want to talk about this one. This is basically a Chinese bandi in China. They sell fried rice and noodles. And I actually bought some fried rice there, and amazingly, it tastes quite a lot like what we get over here. It's not quite as spicy, but has the same level of heat and stuff. And I was really amazed by it. And I was saying, we get stuff like this in India. He didn't understand what I said, just kept nodding and asked for money, but it was really cool. And the way he cooks it, the whole process same. You go pick some rice, put it over there, he cooks it for you, asks you what meat you want. I didn't know what meat I had still, just some meat over there. And it was really nice. And he gives you chopsticks to eat with. And I couldn't eat rice with chopsticks, so I went for a fork. But yeah, it's a Chinese bandi in China, basically. This is just a car with one headlight. I quite like this because, I don't know, it's got many fancy buildings around, but still taxis with one headlight. And this guy is just happily crossing the road, no care in the world. He's like, yeah, I'm going to cross the road, big cars are coming, they're going to stop for me. Probably what most of us did on the way here today, but it happens everywhere as well. This is a typical kind of Chinese house in Suzhou, which is about an hour away from Shanghai. Small house, a couple of bicycles, they've still got an air conditioner and things like that. And this is really contrasted well with the next photograph, which is also an hour outside Shanghai, but the other end. We've got these massive skyscrapers, clean, well maintained, and it's like a gated community. And they're probably only a couple of hours away from each other, but on the other ends of the city, and also on the other ends of the spectrum in terms of living. I got this photo of a couple of kids playing around. What was obvious was that they've been annoying their mother, and she'd send them out to clean the front of the house. The tiny kid clearly thought the most effective way to clean the floor was to do it in circles. But she was just having a whale of a time and smiled for the photo, so that was fine with me. The final one is about a railway station in Shanghai. It's clean, but apart from that, it's more or less the same here. It's crowded. The LED boards in the end don't show anything that's relevant to the current train that's going. The moment they update to the right train, everyone rushes towards them without no queuing, nothing. Just rush towards them in a stand line, hoping to get through the barrier and get onto the platform, which is the other side. And lots of grumpy looking faces, annoyed that the train's late again. That's pretty much it, really. Yeah, so thanks for listening, and let me know if you have any questions. Any questions?
Everything is self-evident.
Thank you.
You better don't show this picture to others in India because they are on a different platform thinking that China is something. From bad will become worse.
Any questions here? Huh.
Yes.
So if you do the same thing in Hyderabad, except you go one way to Metropolis and
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to show. It's you get a very similar landscape and thing in India as well as in Hyderabad, in fact.
The purpose that you went to China and picture that you came back with, you rebuilt the purpose or
So I
while
went to
shooting or was it done post?
no, I went to China with quite an open mind, but I had an idea for this before leaving. Once I did my research, I kind of wanted to do this, but I didn't know how practical it would be. But as I went around for 2 weeks, I found it quite easy because these scenes were everywhere around me. I didn't have to hunt for these photographs. It's actually quite easy to find scenes, and the major fighting was to get the right light and the right composition and things like that. But the scenes were present everywhere, which is why I thought it's an important part for everyone to see because, it's a daily part of our life, is a daily part of their life as well.
One of the things that you actually mentioned in the write-up when we have the submission is that when you travel, you actually realize that life is so similar even in a foreign land, and that realization actually comes pretty easy, and that was there in your description,
Yes,
but
yeah.
you didn't mention it. But yeah, you can actually see the first shot could be the Delhi wires and your Patpatganj area or whatever, and the freeway shot could be somewhere in Bangalore, and life is pretty much similar. I remember traveling in Thailand, and I saw a lot of posters of Ajay Devgan, but I couldn't understand what they were because they were all Thai dubbed Indian movies.
Right.
So I don't know if Aishwarya movies are shown in
Yeah,
China.
well, you never know.
Yeah.
So I think that brings me to one of the things I wanted to achieve from this project was there are two things really. The first one was to encourage people to travel more and to tell them that the world is not a scary place as it seems initially. I mean, people all around the world are just like us, as I've shown in this project, and that I think applies for pretty much every country. They're always willing to accept you, and if you go with a broad mind, and people are always welcoming. And that's kind of what I wanted to say, that deep down, we're all, in the end, we're all only human, regardless of where we live or how we're brought up. We all have the same preferences in life and the same objectives to have a happy life and things like that. I think that's what comes out in people essentially. The second thing I wanted to achieve was to really get your feedback about what you think define a country or a culture, because that would help me maybe in the future to better capture a culture, because quite a lot of these are wide shots. I would have liked to go tighter, but not being a stranger in a country without a local contact was quite difficult. I can't just go and shove my camera on someone's face. So, but if I have your opinions about what you think could make this better, perhaps next time I go to China I'll try and get those photos.
Good is not good where better is expected.
Probably the culture aspect is probably the dance, the culture aspect.
Right.
The arts and culture aspect of it is missing.
Yes, yeah.
You can include that aspect, a stage or a dance or how it happens.
Yes, definitely, yeah, sure, thank you. Anything else? Good.
I want to say, like, it's a very beautiful presentation because our understanding or idea of foreign, it's very different. So somehow it breaks that foreign is different from us.
Yes.
Second thing, I don't know why people think that culture is always art. What my understanding of culture is that whatever you see in some place, that is the culture.
Right.
Culture is not something that you can preserve in a museum or in books.
Of course, yeah.
So it has done very well.
Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think more if you, there's an artist, I'll try and send you the name. This guy did similar concept. He wanted to show that Palestinians and Israeli guys were the same, and they were having a lot of conflict. So he put up, I think he printed 50 square feet, actually 50 feet wide posters. Yeah, so he printed 50 feet wide posters and stuck them along the border.
Right.
And it's close-up of one Palestinian and one Israeli.
Oh, okay.
So you're asking the people to pick which one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Just
You probably difference between Indian and Chinese quite easily though.
I think a little bit of Photoshop. You can get that.
Cool. I think that's it then. Thanks all. Have a good evening.